Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome to the 17th episode of the 3 a.m. Knitter podcast. I am thrilled that you are here. Welcome to you. If you are a new viewer, please remember to like and subscribe if you're called to do so. And if you are a returning viewer, hey, how are you? Nice to see you again. All right, let's jump right in. Little bit of housekeeping before we get rolling. You can find me over on Instagram as 3amknitter. My email address is 3amknitter@gmail.com. My snail mail address is down below in the show notes section. You can find me over on Ravelry as 3am Knitter, of course, and there's also a 3am Knitter Ravelry group. I started the group a little while ago, and truth be told, I haven't been wildly consistent in that group, but I have made a commitment to myself that I will start being more present in that group. So go ahead and join the group. Also, every month at the beginning of the month, I send out a newsletter. So October's newsletter will be going out later tonight. The newsletter includes dates and links to the Knit Night, virtual Knit Night that I'm running every month. Also, it gives you the dates where the podcasts will be coming out, podcast episodes, links to my Ravelry store for patterns, and some other information along the way. I'll include things like knit-alongs or make-alongs that I'm going to be hosting, things like that. So if you'd like to subscribe to the newsletter, go ahead and do that. The link is down below. I won't spam you with a whole bunch of email. Really, my goal is to only send one email a month right at the beginning of the month. And then you've just kind of got one place where you can go to find all the links for everything and all the information for everything that goes on during the month. All right, I think that's it for housekeeping. Yeah, so let's jump right in. Last weekend I went to Woolstock East Fibre Arts Festival in a small town that is about 40 minutes or so from where I live here in Nova Scotia. Small town called Tittamooksh, Nova Scotia. Really kind of trendy, funky little village that has, breweries and boutique shops and things like that. And also Sisterhood Yarn and Fibres. So this fiber festival had a great variety of makers and beautiful yarns, which I'll talk about in a minute. My LYS, Natural Ewe Yarns, was there, of course. So, as soon as I got there, I made a beeline for their booth to chat with them. I was thrilled to meet Emma from Botanical Fibres. She and I are collaborating on a sock pattern using her wonderful sock base. I've talked about that before, the sunspot socks. Ooh. And had the opportunity, I'm just grabbing my iPad here, to meet the lovely Doris Ann from Savoy Baskets. So because I'm also a weaver, when I see hand-woven baskets, it has always fascinated me. And I saw that she was going to be here. I followed her on Instagram, of course. But here's a wee picture of her booth. Let me see if I can make this a little bit bigger. See these baskets on the floor? Look at that. They've got legs. And I just thought, oh. And her work is, it's just gorgeous. I'm just going to pop over to her little website here because you can see, look at this little, Whoops. There. Look at that. I'm getting a little bit of glare from the window there. It was such a joy to meet her. We had great conversation, and we talked about our crafting journey, and we talked about, actually there she is there. Huh. Yeah, we had a great time. I was wearing my, it was cool enough that I could wear my, oh, what the heck sweater was that? My memory's not very good today. That was one of my Whip Mountain projects. Bear with me just one sec here. It's gonna drive me nuts if I don't remember that. It was the Mount Lorne pullover. Good Lord. So I was super happy that it was cool enough to wear that, right? Sweater weather, finally. It's another picture I took of her booth. Oh, like these baskets with legs. I don't know what it is about the legs. Just, yeah. Anyway, so it was really a great pleasure to meet her. I'm going to, be chatting with her a little bit more because I'm intrigued by this basket weaving. I know, like I need another project or another hobby, but I have baskets all over my house. What if I could make my own? Oh, I know. Anyway, so that was Savoy Baskets, Botanical Fibres. So I went and I met with Emma. And of course, it was great to finally meet her in person because we're doing this collaboration. So like there's her booth, Botanical Fibres. I hope that's forward. And of course I had to treat myself to one of her yarns. So she had this hat sample knit in the booth, and I picked it up, and it was like picking up nothing. Like it was just light as a feather. No pun intended. You'll understand in a minute. And I said to her, "What did you knit this out of?" She told me she knit it out of her feather base. So this is her feather base here. It is 74% baby Surrey alpaca, 26% silk, light fingering. So this is a 50-gram skein, 300 meters in the colorway Amethyst. And I wish you could feel this. It's wildly soft. And I mean, whoops, let me just get one of these strands here. So there, see that? Oh, it's so soft. So I'm really, really looking forward to knitting this up. Like, look at that. It's going to be gorgeous, isn't it? Oh. So the hat that she had knit up was just a plain kind of beanie style. And I'll likely do something similar to that. But I just can't wait because I love wearing hats in the winter when I go out for my walks and stuff like that. But the problem is, I don't know, I just feel like the weight of some of these hats, and I don't know if that's going to make sense. Sometimes when I'm wearing a hat, it's just the weight of it on my head bugs me. So having something that's going to be super light but really warm, I mean, Surrey alpaca, right? And the silk, I mean, it's going to be very warm, I think is going to do the trick. So as you can see, I have not even started this. I haven't even wound this up into a ball. Look at, ooh. So and I'll tell you why, because I want to finish this sweater that I'll talk about in a minute. So maybe, I don't know, maybe by the next podcast, but certainly by the end of October, I will have that hat ready, because I really want to have it to wear. And we are getting into the cooler temps finally. Okay, Natural You. So some time ago, a number of episodes ago, I showed you a shawl that I had started using 2 different colorways from Natural You. One was the Cosmo colorway, Cosmo colorway, and the other was Caribou. Caribou is an amazing colorway. I don't have it up here. It's downstairs by my knitting chair, but let me just quickly pull up the Natural You site so I can show you the Caribou colorway again. Natural You, look at that. I just had to type in NA and it comes up on my iPad. Let me just search Caribou. Okay, come on. Caribou. There it is. All right. So the Caribou colorway is, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. So it's like warm. Whoops, sign up for our newsletter. I already have. It's super warm, kind of caramelly, browns and natural tones, with pops of red in it. It's really, really quite lovely. And I was using that and the Cosmo colorway, which is right here. That's a good representation. So you can see, because it's all naturally dyed, right? This is their got to have it. So Caribou, I want to see if she has a better description than I am giving you. No. Anyway, it's on Gots to Have It Merino. That's what this is. So I was doing a shawl, two color shawl. But when I went into the Natural You booth at Woolstock East, I saw a sample sweater that caught my eye. So Jasmine, who is one of the 2 owners of Natural You, had knit up the Diaphanous Raglan. And I'm just going to show you this. So it's a cropped top. So I love to layer, so that's perfect. And the body is knit with the fingering and mohair held together. Oh, just fell off my lap. And the sleeves are just in the mohair. Actually, you might be able to see it there. See how the sleeves are. There it is in black. So I immediately decided that I was pulling or frogging that shawl because I want to make that sweater. And I'm doing it in Cosmo. So I bought another skein of Cosmo. So I have 2 skeins. And then I bought 2 skeins of the Raspberry Halo. Look at, isn't this gonna be divine? So this is 72% Super Kid mohair and 28% Mulberry silk. Oh baby, this is gonna be nice. What do you think? I think this is gonna be just gorgeous. And it is taking everything in me not to cast this on because I really want to finish my field sweater, but we'll talk about that in a sec. This This halo, I mean, look at that. I mean, you can already see the halo on it, right? So even though I'm going to be finished my field sweater, which I'll show you in a sec, today, I don't want to cast this on just yet because I'm doing another sweater knit for Jody of the Grocery Girls, and the yarn is on its way to me from Edmonton. So I really want to cast this on. Anyhow, so that's the Diaphanous Raglan. I'll tell you a little bit about that pattern. It's a pattern by Jessie Mead Designs. Fingering and lace held together or decay. The gauge is 20 stitches and 26 rows to 10 centimeters or 4 inches. Needle sizes range from 3.5, 4.5, 5.5 millimeters or 4, 7, and 9 US. And the yardage varies, of course. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 sizes. It goes from extra small up to 5XL. What a great pattern. Now, this top is the next best thing to having wings. You'll feel like you're floating in the sheer sleeves and featherweight body of this double V-neck raglan. So it's V-neck front and back. Be casual and cozy with some high-waisted trousers or an everyday look. Pair it with a skirt. Something more fancy. Size inclusive. Measurements reflect 4.5 to 6.5 inches of positive ease for each size. To decide which size to make, take your full bust measurement and add the 4.5 to 6.5 inches. Choose the size closest to the number. She says if you are between sizes, she recommends sizing down. What else do we need to know? It's a $12 US pattern or $16.98 Canadian. I'm not wildly happy about that, but considering it's so size inclusive, you know, that's not bad. There has been 988 projects completed on Ravelry. Somebody did it in a short sleeve too, which is kind of intriguing. I won't go that route. Here's just to give you an idea, she did kind of short fluttery sleeves. That's not my style. I'm going to do the full sleeve, but that's kind of interesting, right? And if you didn't have enough of the mohair or whatever you're using, that would be a nice option. Anyway, so that's that. I bought that at the Fibre Festival. And I justified it by saying, well, I've already got one skein of the Cosmo, so, you know, it was a cheap purchase. Anyway, so there's that. So that is kind of next on my list of projects. Yeah. Anyway, there's that. All right. So let's talk about my work in progress, which is going to be an FO by the end of today. As you know from last episode, I am working on the field sweater by Camilla Vad, and I am knitting it in Frankie gray fibers, DK, and this delicious cinnamon mohair. So this is Frankie gray fibers, DK, in the sand dollar colorway. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, Frankie gray fibers, and the mohair Look at that. Oh my gosh. Do I have the mohair label? I save all my labels until I'm done. Hang on just one sec. Sand dollar, sand dollar. This must be it here. No, sand dollar. Oh, there it is right there. 70% kid mohair, 30% silk. 50 grams, 459 meters, or 420 meters, or 459 yards. Sorry. So one skein of that, and so far I am into skein number 5 for this sweater, and I will measure what I have left when I'm finished the second sleeve. So here is the sweater. Oh, I wish you could feel this. I'm not going to put it on. I will take pictures and post it in my Instagram feed. I'm doing the short sleeve version, and you can see I've just I've got one sleeve done. I just have to pick up this second sleeve here. But this is the 2-color yoke, and see if I can get that close enough for you to kind of see. Oh, look at that. Right? Now, look at this beautiful colorway. This is the sand dollar, right, that I just showed you. Oh, so obviously I haven't blocked it or anything yet because I still have the one sleeve to do, but oh, it feels so good. And I tried it on before I picked up the sleeve. I picked this sleeve up last night while I was watching the hockey game. It's hockey season, people. I made a few changes, few modifications. So there's the long sleeve version and the 1-color version. So you can see the texture is just beautiful. I obviously went for the 2-color version and the short sleeve. Where is, there. So you've probably seen this picture, right? So the changes that I made. For the yoke, I went up a needle size. Oh, I went up half a needle size or a whole needle size. I can't remember. What did I do here? Did I write it down like I usually do? Return to color pattern, change to 4mm needles. I went up to 4.5, so half a needle size for the yoke. I was worried about it a little bit, thinking that it might bugger up the fit, but it did not. And it did, based on some of the notes that I read in other people's Ravelry projects. It was recommended that you go up a needle size just for ease of knitting. These little areas here, they're called grains in the pattern. And there's small grains and large grains. And the small grains, not too bad, but you're pulling a strand of yarn through 3 stitches. But the large grains, you're pulling a strand of yarn through 5 stitches. It was a disaster. So I used a crochet hook to do it, which many people on Ravelry suggested. 699 projects, mine being one of them. It is a beautiful sweater. It's gorgeous. Will I knit it again? No. Actually, I'm not going to say no quite yet. I won't knit it anytime soon though. So The yoke, I'm a fast knitter, and the yoke took me weeks because even though it's a really small repeat, because I was doing the largest size, so there's more stitches, but it was such a slog trying to pull this this yarn through the stitches. I'm just going to pull this inside out so you can see. So I carried my yarn across, as you can see. I don't think it'd be any easier doing it in one color. It wasn't that I'd added the mohair in that made it kind of difficult. I was super happy to get to the body though, because then it's just straight knitting. So I just have the one sleeve to pick up. That's another one of the changes that I made. So where are we here? Change to 4. So yeah, so after the yoke was done, I changed back to the 4mm needles, and I really like the fabric, which was great. It's not a difficult pattern. It's just not it's not for beginners, because it's not written in such a way that a beginner would find it easy, in my opinion, just my opinion. So what I did with the sleeves is, once I picked up the stitches that I'd put on hold, I picked them up, I knit. I should have been a little more organized here for you guys. Hang on just a sec. Where are my sleeve notes? There they are. I picked them up. Let's see. I decreased as it suggested for the longer sleeves. And then decreased again. So let's see, 1 row of decrease, 2 rows of decrease, and then I didn't decrease again. And the reason that I decreased is because I was reading the pattern for the long sleeve version instead of reading the pattern for the short sleeve version. It doesn't matter. I didn't make the sleeves as long as they suggest in the pattern, just out of personal preference. And I didn't make the ribbing as long as they suggest in the pattern. Again, solely out of personal preference. Yeah, so I'm just trying to try it. Yeah, so this is going to be approximately the middle of my upper arm, my bicep area. I didn't want the ribbing any longer, so I just did 10 rounds, did a stretchy cast off, bind off, and at the bottom of the sweater, again, I didn't do it quite as long as they asked in the pattern. Again, personal preference. So I'm looking forward to getting this finished tonight so I can get it blocked and hopefully have it ready to go with me next week to PEI, which is next on the list. So as you know from my Instagram feed and from last episode, I am heading to PEI Fibre Festival next week. Next Thursday, my friend Lyanne is coming in from Ontario, and we are going together. We're going to jump on the ferry, get across to PEI, and have a great time for a couple of days. So we'll be gone Thursday, Friday, and home on Saturday. And I am teaching my weaving class, so I'm looking forward to that. Got supplies all ready. These are cocoons of yarn that the participants will be using to weave their three-dimensional bowls. And I'll have some updates about that on the next episode. So that is super duper exciting. So there's that. Where is, did I, project gallery? No. Yes. So I'm hoping while I'm in PEI that I can find some yarn. If I'm going to shop my stash first, but I recently discovered this designer called Jennifer Beals, Knit J. Beal Designs. And lo and behold, she's a Canadian designer. And this lovely piece of work came across my Instagram feed this week, and I am all over it. Look at that. I mean, not only is the knitting interesting, it is right up my alley for style-wise. Oh, I just love it. Right? What do you think? So this particular pattern is called Stephenville Crossing. It's an airy spring sweater. I mean, would wear it year round because I'll just layer it. An ethereal enchantment to knit and wear, work top down. The construction of it is easier than it looks. The construction is started at the shoulders and worked in a way that gives the illusion that the track-like lines weave in and out of each other, just as the cables and lace do in the large, graphic yet delicate motif worked across the wingspan. And just like the trestle in the town, Stephenville Crossing is one of a kind. My dreamy sweater, partially named after my husband, Stephen. The lace and cable patterning is both written and charted, which is great. Intended to be worn with 0 to 4 inches of positive ease. The sample was size number 2. So there are 7 sizes in the pattern. It's a $12 Canadian pattern. She does offer, though, 25% off if you purchase 4 of her patterns. There have been 68 projects made. So it's likely got the kinks out of the pattern, which is great. Lots of great people's work here. So I'm very intrigued by that. But some of her other ones, I wanted to show you this one. This is called the Twilling Gate. And I just think that this is adorable. I don't know if you can, look. It's got gathering in the front. It's, the tank top. It's got, really great width of straps up here. For us girls who like a fuller coverage. I think it's adorable. Look at that. So that's called the Twilling Gate. Let's see. That was a collaboration that she did. Again, there's 5 sizes on this one. It's a bottom up, easy and breezy tank for the wool lovers on warm and sunny days. It's made in sport weight, so it would knit up really quickly. I'll link to that one down below as well, so you can take a look if that interests you. And then, her other pattern, I just love her patterns. This is called the Step Aside. It is it's just so neat. Her designs are very interesting. So this sweater, it's a crop sweater. So again, you know, a layering piece for me. It's done in Aran weight, but look at the side pockets. Look at that. Isn't that fun? Oh, I just love that detail of the pockets there. And the way that she's got the color work on the inside of the arm. It's just so unique. It's got texture. It's got color work. Oh, look at there. There's a better shot of the pocket. I just love it. So I'm kind of intrigued by Jennifer Beale's designs. I will be knitting a few. Did I tell you this one was an Aran weight? Yeah, so this has 9 sizes available. She's got errata on her website, which is good news. Let's see. Worked top down. Color work is knit in the round, mitered, and steeked. After the body is complete, the pockets are knit sideways and joined with a 3-needle bind off. The surface single crochet is worked along the picked up stitches at the top of each shoulder sleeve for extra reinforcement. Cuddle up in some fun and don't mind the double takes. Yeah. So I'm pretty intrigued by her designs. I will likely cast on, here's Bay Bulls. I really like this too. This is lace weight though. And I don't know, after knitting a bunch of DK, going back to a lace weight is just I love lace weight, but it just seems that the projects take so long because it's so lacy. So this is kind of like a poncho shawl idea. Again, like look at that. She's got buttons here to make it more of a sweater style. I love it. Oh, there we go. And look at that beautiful detail on the sleeve portion. These are some other people's projects. Oh, at the beach. Look. Oh, yeah. So, you know, $12 each for her patterns, $12 Canadian for her patterns. But again, if you wanted to buy 4 or more, you'd get 25% off your total purchase. So, you know, if you bought 4, that's 1 free basically. This shawl that I just showed you comes in 1, 6, 7 sizes, and it's meant to be worn with 0 to 4 inches of positive ease at the hem level. So yeah, I have tons of lace weight that I can use for something like this. So there's been 28 projects knit of this pattern. So yeah, new to me designer. I will definitely be picking up some of her patterns because I do really like them, and I'm quite intrigued by her designs. And then one other pattern I wanted to share with you today is by Catherine Rain. It's published in the Cable and Lace Co. Sign up to get newsletters. This is a sweater that caught my eye. So $9 US or $12.74 Canadian. It's called Color Me Lacy. Now, the story behind this one is that when I saw the name of the pattern, I had to immediately go look at it because my grandma used to call me Lacy. So I thought, oh, let me take a look at this. So this is done in fingering weight. I just think it is really a lovely pattern. So you see the yoke here is all done in lace. And then you've got some color work. Yeah, I think it's a beautiful pattern. Oh, there's only 4 pictures. Let me see. Sorry. 26 projects. Yeah. People have been very creative. Let's see about the sizing. Oh, it's wildly size inclusive. It goes from extra small to 9XL. Are you joking? Fingering weight yarn. The pictures that I showed you of Catherine, the designer, wearing it, that's the size small. So you can see it's not got a lot of ease in it. It's meant to be, you know, fit well. Top-down sweater, knit entirely in the round. The color work design is achieved by stranded knitting, as it is knit from top down. The length of the sleeve and body are easily adjustable to suit your body, of course. It's knit on 3.25 knit and 3.75 or US 3 and 5 needles. Yardage, let's see. So my size would be, I would choose, where's the bust measurement? Finished bust measurement. I would probably choose that. So main color, sorry, hang on. 1225 meters of the main color, and 326 of the contrast. So 1 skein of the contrast. Yeah, 4 or 5 skeins of the main color. So, you know, not too expensive. Did I say that it was $9 US, $12.74 Canadian? I really like that pattern a lot. So that might be on my radar for sure. Okay, what do we got coming up next? Turn my page here, my notes. Ah, yes. All right. Was there any other patterns that I wanted to share with you? No, that was all I had here. Okay. So I'm really looking forward to going to PEI, and I'll have lots to tell you about that next time around. I wanted to read a passage out of my Zen and the Art of Knitting book to you today, because this, well, let me read it first and then we can chat about it. Make something for someone you're concerned about. A friend who's battling an illness, a parent with whom you're on difficult terms, a stressed coworker, or a high school buddy whose presence you miss. Hold that person close in your thoughts as you knit, concentrating on good things happening in and through that person's life. Make a sacred garment in which to clothe your friend in love and positive, uplifting thoughts. You don't have to tell the person about these thoughts and wishes that are woven into the work. Trust that your intentions will manifest themselves through the act of your knitting. Do you knit like this? Do you think about the people you're knitting for as you're knitting? Do you send, you know, good karma into your garments? Do you meditate while you're knitting? These are super important things to do, because if you're like me, you believe that energy is everything and energy is everywhere. And so when we are sharing our energy, whether it be in a garment, whether it be just in the act of doing our knitting, it does transfer to the person wearing it. I remember years and years and years ago, I joined this yarn club, excuse me, and it was hand-dyed yarn. And what the creator did is, as part of her dyeing process, is she would actually use the dye to write down words that she wanted to have kind of inserted into the intention of the yarn. So, for example, you know, there was one month that we got the yarn, and it was, you know, a red kind of mottled red colorway, and she had used the red dye before she'd done the full dye bath, and she had put the word love. She had written the word love in the dye on every single skein. So that, you know, that, and as she was dyeing, she was thinking about love and thinking about the people that she loves and thinking about her customers that she loves. And she wanted that intention to be in the yarn so that when we got the yarn, that beautiful intention would come with it. What do you think of that? Do you do that when you're knitting for other people? I'd love to have a conversation about this. So let me know. Okay. The one thing that I did forget to mention to you, and that I wanted to, just in case you are not subscribed to the newsletter, is that our next virtual knit night will be Wednesday, October the 18th at 7:30 p.m. Atlantic time. So I'll be posting about this on my Instagram feed. If you get the newsletter, it will be in there with the link to our Google Meets room. I'll also put the information down in the show notes. So that's Wednesday, October 18th at 7:30 p.m. Atlantic. I'm going to leave it to you to figure out what your time zone is and what time that is. If you're in Eastern time zone, that's 6:30 p.m. That's the only time zone that I know because I lived there for so long. So, all right, let's get on to our Knitter's Oracle for this episode. We will just do a little bit of a shuffle, split the deck, and pull the top card. What did we get today? Today we have the Ewe. Isn't she cute? The Ewe. Let's see what information we can find out about the Ewe. 29. There we go. Feminine energy, maternal caring softness, tenderness, aesthetic beauty. The Ewe. Maternal caring softness, tenderness, aesthetic beauty. Kind of ties in with the reading a little bit, doesn't it? Caring, softness, tenderness. Well, feminine energy, but any energy, really. Aesthetic beauty. Yeah. Sometimes when we knit, brings me back to my field sweater, right? So sometimes when we knit things that, to me, this is so aesthetically beautiful. It's also tactilely beautiful because it's so, so soft. I just wish that, you know, we were at a place where you guys could feel this. So aesthetic beauty, caring, softness, tenderness. I just, you know, yeah. How can you put more beauty into your day, into your life? Think about that. Let me know. All right, my darlings, that is all for today. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your Sunday. Happy October 1st. And I will be back with you in a couple of weeks with a big update about my adventures at the PEI Fibre Festival, likely more acquisitions. You'll be able to see the field sweater because it'll be done by then, so I'll be wearing it as long as it's not 9 billion degrees out. And we'll chat. Okay, that's all for now. Take good care, and please remember, do something kind for yourself today. Talk soon.